In one of my last videos, I have covered how to create this dot matrix or dot circle chart. If you want to know how to create this from scratch, I have left a link to this video in the description, so feel free to watch that. Just to recap quickly, a dot matrix chart is a 10 by 10 matrix of these tiny circles where each circle represents 1%. So if you have a data that totals to 100%, this is a great chart to show that data visually. In this video, I want to cover different applications of this chart. So I will be sharing a few visualizations to use the same chart but show it in different format, like with different shapes and icons. So let's see that next. The first example I have is for the infrastructure sector. So I have taken the same chart that we have here. I have changed the circles to squares. I have reduced the width of the chart to bring it in this vertical format. Then I have added a shape in the background to get this building or a skyscraper kind of a look. The next example I have is one with the human icons. The first one is the standard dot matrix chart I have covered before. It's just that I have replaced the circles with the human icon, but you don't necessarily have to go horizontally. You could also go vertically. So this is another way you can show the same chart. This example is quite flexible, so you can use this in many scenarios across many industries. You could also replace these generic human icons with a male or a female or an older person or a younger person. So feel free to experiment depending on your actual data. The next three examples I have are for the healthcare sector. In the first example, I have used a capsule to visualize this aspirin market share data. The second one is with a virus icon or a bacteria icon to show the rate of infection. And the last one is this generic medical plus symbol. This can be used across many healthcare examples. On every slides that I'll be showing you, I have left the icons I have used in the foreground and background here in the top right corner. So you can just take these and change the colors and use them directly in these charts. The next example I have is for the technology sector. So far, we have only been showing a single data point per chart. Like here, you'll see we are just showing 37%, and the rest of these points are placeholders to give us this visual look of 100%. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You could also use this like a pie chart. Now imagine a pie chart where we have two pies, one is 72% and another one is 28%. The same pie chart can be visualized with this dot matrix chart. So here I have operating system market shares. So we have 72% for Android and remaining 28% for iOS. So if you have a pie chart and you are looking for a fresh visual for it, consider using dot matrix chart. The next one is for aerospace industry. Here I have shown how many planes has company A produced in a year versus company B. So it's a comparison chart between the two companies. You could also have this for different transportation icons like a truck or a ship and so on. You could also perhaps use a box icon for the logistics industry. So possibilities are endless. Feel free to experiment depending on your sector. The last one I have is for the education sector. Here I have used the graduation cap to show the data like so. So how many students graduate every year. You could also use a book symbol here or a school building to showcase the education data. You could also use perhaps a pen or a computer. Just think of any relevant icons for the industry you are working with, and I'm sure you can pick something to visualize your data with that icon. Now, in order to create all of these, all you need are these two base charts. So this chart on the right hand side is the chart that will go in the foreground, and this one goes in the background. Before you start, make sure both your charts show 100%. Easier to take out the circles than to add them. Also, from the formatting perspective, it's recommended that you change the formatting for all 100 data points first before you take out any. Otherwise, what would happen is, let's say if I removed a few values from here, so my chart only shows the remaining circles, then I went and changed the icons for the values that are showing. Because I didn't see the rest of them, I didn't change the icons for them. But for those values that weren't changed, the old icons would show up there. So if in future you use the same chart again and you enabled all the 100%, some of the values would be with the new icon and the others would be with the old circle icon. So to avoid that, make sure you change the new icon for all 100 values instead of just the ones that you will be showing to your audience. So let's do a couple of examples to give you an idea how to create all of these charts. So let's do this infrastructure one. I'm just going to duplicate this slide because I want the original intact. Now double click on these markers, go to shape fill, click on marker, twirl open marker options. Under built-in type drop down box, select this first option with a square. Do that for all the rows. Now unfortunately there is no faster way to do this, you have to do this manually. Now I need to apply the same changes for the second chart, but instead of applying them manually, I'm going to use a shortcut. So I'm just going to delete this chart. I'm going to duplicate my square chart and place it to the side, and all I'll do is change the fill to white. So go to shape fill, locate fill option, click on solid fill, make sure you are selecting the white color. We also need to give it a border, so click on marker option, and once you click on marker option, locate border, click on solid line and give this the same blue border that's used for the shape fill, so this one. Now click on the next row and press F4. F4 just applies the last formatting, which is the outline formatting. So I'm going to press F4 for every row, that just saves us time. Now with the last row selected, I'm just going to change the fill color to white and then apply the same fill to rest of the rows by pressing F4. Both our charts are ready. So let's overlap this chart on top of this chart. Now our fill chart needs to be in the foreground, so right click that chart and click on bring to front. Then select both these charts and group them. Decrease their width like so. Once you have decreased the width of the chart so that it resembles a skyscraper, select a rectangular shape by going to insert and clicking on shapes. Then draw a rectangle of this size, send it to back, remove the outline and select a lighter color, remove the outline. Okay, now let's change the value of our foreground chart. Let's say we want to give this a value of 70%, so I'm just going to take out the top 3 rows. If you want, you can also add a road underneath it, so like so. Give this a gray color, no outline, then insert a line that goes between the road like this. Give this a color of white and make this a dashed line like this one. Let's add percentages, so I'm just going to copy the percentages from one of my previous charts, place it underneath. Let's change the font color to blue, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you can take the original chart and convert that into a completely different looking chart within a matter of few minutes. Let's do one more example with icons. Let's do an example with a ship. So go to insert, click on icons, type in ship. Let's select this ship. We don't want it to be this big because our dots are so small. Our ship also needs to be small enough so that it can accommodate here without overlapping with each other. First, convert this to shape by clicking on convert to shape option here. Let's group this because there are separate parts to this icon. So right click, click on group. Go to the right hand side, click on size and properties. Check this lock aspect ratio because when we change either the height or the width, we want the other one changing in proportion. Let's reduce this height to 0.3 or let's say 0.25 so that it's small enough that it can fit in our chart. Then duplicate our icon. Let's make the second one light gray. Now let's paste our icon to see if it looks fine. I think it looks okay. Let's also paste the light one here. Now before we go on and paste our icon for rest of the rows, let's just shrink this chart to a smaller size to see if it looks fine. If not, we can reduce the size of this icon even further. Now how much you need to shrink depends on how much space you would have on your slide. Now if you don't have much space and your chart needs to be of this size, you can click on this icon, go to size and position and reduce the size even more. So I've reduced the height to 0.2 from 0.25. Then repaste our icon, and that has created more space between the icons. So if this is the size you want to go with, that's fine. If you are happy with the earlier size, let's stick with that. Let's copy and paste all our icons here. Let's finish that for here too. Then overlap this chart with the first one, change the values. Let's say there were 1,000 ships in our sample size and we only want to show 230 of them, so 23%. Let's take out 7 rows and take out these 7 column values. Copy our text box, something like that. Now let's say if we wanted to use the dot matrix chart to show a pie chart kind of a data. Let's say we wanted to show a 25% of these dots in one color and remaining 75% in another color. You don't need this chart in that case because we'll be showing all our 100 values. So we can get rid of this chart, place our original chart in the center like so, then change the 75 values with a unique color. So I'm going to pick this one. Then we want 5 more values here to be in green. We don't want the entire row to be green, so I'm just going to individually select these dots. So this is our 75%. Let's say we wanted the remaining to be in another color. First change this row to the new color, so let's say this yellow. Then individually select these remaining dots. We can then label them. Let's make this green and this one yellow. So that's how you can take a dot matrix chart and show a pie chart type of data in it. So with these 3 examples, we have seen how easy it is to take the dot matrix chart and convert that into a new visual way to show our data. So I do hope you use these charts in your presentations. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you next time.